have our first look at the brand new Red Band trailer for the upcoming action comedy, I guess you could call it, American Ultra. And so this movie flew right under my radar. I had no idea about this movie at all. I might have heard when the casting was announced, but that would have been about it. I didn't really follow this project, and I really should have, because this is right in my wheelhouse. It's an action comedy. It's involving stoners. I mean, I love Pineapple Express. I think that movie is absolutely hilarious, and seeing this movie kind of taking a little bit more of an action-heavy approach to it, I think really does work for it. One of the biggest things that I liked about this trailer was, ironically, Kristen Stewart. I know a lot of people have hated on Kristen Stewart, and for good reason, because of the Twilight series, and you know, she was not good in those movies. Not just that the role wasn't very good, but that she did not portray it very well. She didn't try to elevate it. You know, the exact opposite of what happened with Dakota Johnson with 50 Shades of Grey. That was a character in a role that wasn't very well written, but she was able to elevate it above the source material and really bring something to that role, which unfortunately is something Kristen Stewart did not do. But even before Twilight, I have been on Kristen Stewart's book. Like I've been on. She's been one of the actresses that I've been willing to look at almost every time she comes on screen. And why? Because David Fincher cast her when she was younger in Panic Room. And if David Fincher likes your acting talent enough to include you in a film, that at least gives you some good grace in my book, regardless of what age you did it at. Especially if you're a child actor, because it's even more difficult to elicit the type of performance out of somebody as such a perfectionist as David Fincher, a guy who has done 100 takes before. And having both of these people paired up together, both of which have worked with David Fincher, so they both elevated their acting game. Seeing them in a movie like this with Topher Grace chewing the scenery like no other, I mean, there's a lot of elements to this movie that could work. There's also a lot of elements that could go horribly wrong. One of the elements I think that could go in this movie's favor is the fact that Max Landis is writing the script, and he also wrote Chronicle, and he's just a very big personality. If you guys have ever followed him on Twitter or anything like that, or just seen any of his outlandish comments that he's ever given about any such project. But I mean, like the basic storyline of the movies is Jesse Eisenberg plays like a stoner sleeper agent. Like he used to be an agent of some sort of, at least that's my assumption. They don't really give it away in this trailer. But he used to be an agent of some sort of government agency, where he maybe the CIA or something like that. And this agent comes up to him in disguise and basically gives him a code name, and his mind understands it, but he has no way of responding to it. He has no idea what she says. He's like, is that some kind of lyric? You know, I thought that was a really funny line. But then you see him start to kick ass, and this movie looks like it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And I think that they've held back a lot from the trailers, especially John Leguizamo. Yeah. Well, what did he say? He's like, they're going to neuralize me. I say, ner. You know, it just made me laugh. And seeing all these characters interacting with one another in this type of a premise from the director of Project X and the writer of Chronicle, and you know, I mean, it looks like it's going to have a very fun flow to it. And even Bill Pullman's in the movie. We haven't even seen him in the trailer yet. So this movie is winning on all boards right now. And again, going back to Kristen Stewart, she's definitely continuing on her path of get the stench of Twilight off of me. Because, I mean, last year, look, she was in Still Alice. She was in Camp X-Ray, which was a very good movie. Anybody who hasn't seen Camp X-Ray, you need to check out that film, where she plays a guard at Guantanamo Bay who starts to have this sort of connection with one of the inmates there. And it's just a really good personal movie with great performances. I definitely recommend it. But I have a feeling, no pun intended, that this could, in fact, be a sleeper hit. I'm very much excited for this movie. American Ultra looks really, really interesting. If you guys haven't watched the trailer, by the way, you can click the link in the description of this video to watch the trailer on YouTube. And the movie's going to be opening on August 21st. So, I mean, I'm definitely on board with it. Go ahead and click that subscribe button there in the bottom corner, you guys, if you want to get updates whenever I post a new video. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Niklsun, Niklsun, for all of your movie updates. Find our Facebook page on facebook.com/Niklsun, or Movie News with Niklsun, I'm sorry. And you can also ask any questions that you'd like to have answered on the show at movienewswithniklsun@gmail.com. So go ahead and put a comment in the comment section if you guys are excited about this movie, if you think it looks like garbage, if you think it looks really funny. Let me know in the comment section below. And if we do get more information about this topic, then I will definitely update you guys on here.